everybody, and welcome to the Sunday race review for the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. Joining me are Ian Birch and Megan Birch. Good evening, Dad. Good evening, Megan. It's a few hours after the race, and have you cooled down yet? I certainly haven't.
Yes.
Oh, Megan has, you?
I've done the British touring cars.
Me and you both. I did it as well.
I wasn't that energetic about it.
Good day for Sutton.
It was a good day for Ash Sutton, yeah, in the British touring cars. But
Poor Nick. He tried
Nick
his
Hamilton,
hardest, but he beached himself twice.
bad day for
And,
Nick Hamilton, but
that's what
yeah.
I said, Nick.
but great day
But
for Lewis.
Great that he's even on the grid.
And it's a great day for his brother Lewis, who took victory at Silverstone, but in the most strangest way I think I've ever seen anybody take victory. 3 wheels on his wagon.
Well, he wasn't the only one.
Sainz also had to do it.
Raikkonen, first of all, was the first one. He had a puncture that led to his front wing cracking and going underneath his car and sending him off the circuit.
Oh,
He
so
ended-
that's
how
how
it happened,
he
yeah.
got the...
Then it
front
was
wing.
Bottas.
I was wondering how he did that.
Bottas's wheel went down, which led to
Science.
And then finally with Hamilton.
Yeah,
Lewis.
First puncture
Yeah.
of
But
the
there
day
were
was
in
with
between that,
Kvyat.
in between that, Red Bull lost the race by pitting
Yes.
Max.
On the last lap, they tried to get the fastest lap bonus points. They brought Verstappen in. He was already suffering with tyre issues himself, but in the end, if they hadn't pitted him, he would have taken the victory.
There was something about the tyres this weekend that just didn't seem right. They all started going wrong. Every driver nearly had difficulties with it.
Is that mainly...
It's a compound failure, isn't it?
Yeah, it's compound.
It's got to be. And we had
I haven't seen that in a
little
couple of years now,
inclinations
yeah.
of that when during the support races and the Friday practices, where there's a lot of... it's such a fast and such a downforce circuit that you do actually put a lot of load
Yeah.
on that left and front.
Is it a combination as well of the fact that on Friday we had such extreme temperatures? The track temperature was up at 50 degrees. Saturday was around
no,
30.
different
Today's
tyres.
was 20.
The
Yeah,
different
different tyres. But
But
is
the
it a
same
combination?
compound.
Yeah.
But no, it's just... We had this before at Silverstone and at other tracks. And Pirelli just got it wrong.
Is it going to be a worry that next weekend the tyres are a step softer? We've got the C2 as
Well,
the
what
hard.
Pirelli should have done when they first started noticing this, they should have put a lap limit like they did 2 or 3 years ago at a particular race. They put a lap limit on the number of laps you can go on that tyre.
I think they should. Megan?
I would say 25 this race, because every 25 laps it seemed to be quite a big problem.
Another factor
It would
as
have
well.
made
Yeah, go on.
the race more interesting.
It did. Another factor is
because
that
until the end,
it was
till the last...
Yeah.
I got it right. That the lap 35 onwards was... Before that, it was pretty... wasn't really an exciting British Grand Prix.
No, it
because it's
wasn't.
usually very, very exciting. We missed the crowd today.
I think that added atmosphere to it as well with the crowd. Definitely does.
I still think it's weird, where the old old runway went through the woods, and that's the camping area, and there's usually all the food stuff and things like that, and it's empty, and it does seem really strange to see that, especially from the aerial views, didn't it?
There was nobody there whatsoever. But just quickly also, Megan...
Unlike at the Red Bull Ring, where there was 150 to 200 people
just
on
around
the mountainside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to come back to bite.
Just want to get to you, Megan, as well, because we mentioned this during the commentary. The fact that Kevin Magnussen crashed, caused the first safety car, but then the second safety car was around about lap 14.
Yeah, but
which
Kevin never crashed. He was
got
pushed off.
Yes.
And
by
I'm confused
Albon.
what happened.
We'll get on to that in just 2 seconds as well. Let me just bring this point up.
confused how he crashed.
Just 2 seconds.
But he should have... Yeah.
Hang on, let me just get this point across because it's important. Is the fact that the tyres failed at the end of the race today, especially the hard compound, was because when Kvyat crashed and brought out the safety car around about lap 13, everybody pitted for the hard compound tyre and they had to go so much longer on the race stint than anybody was predicting.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big mistake. I mean, pitting on lap 13 of 52, that's never a good idea.
Would we have seen
But
these
the
issues?
safety car, the first safety car, meant that
The tyre, yeah.
Was
the
with
tyres,
Magnussen.
the tyres got an extra 2 or 3 laps, and it changed like the
It changed,
strategy
yeah.
of people like Haas.
And the second safety car was brought in, because that saved Roman Grosjean. He didn't pit for 37 laps on the mediums, and he was good and sort of
And I
avoided the
perfectly
punctures.
timed it.
Yeah, because
mucked up
the tyre had the
thing.
issue.
And Haas have been filmed this year, this
For
week,
Drive to Survive.
for Drive to Survive by Netflix.
I perfectly
So what a
timed when
weekend.
Grosjean would go in the pits as well.
You did, yes. We did do the race live, by the way, if you're new. So this is Freedom, the first time we've done a forum type show, really.
Lewis drove an excellent race, and so did Max.
They both did, yeah. I just want to get on as well. A quick tweet.
Albon did well.
Albon did well. We'll get on to him. We'll get on to everyone in a few moments' time.
Max and Lewis was my driver of the day,
Yeah.
with a special mention for Albon.
2 seconds, because we will go through all the order fully as well, but we've got a few tweets to read out as well. The first one comes from Lewis Hamilton, who says, that last lap almost had me. We still got this. Check a flag and trophy. I can't express how grateful I am to all the fans and to my incredible team. To think this is the 7th home win is just insane. Thanks for the positive energy, everyone. We did this together. Hashtag British Grand Prix, hashtag Team LH, and still we rise as well. 7 victories at Silverstone is amazing. 7 home victories as well. He's got the most of any driver to have a victory in his home Grand Prix. Schumacher's got 9, but it was split between Nürburgring and
Two
Germany.
different rings.
Yeah, and they won't call the German Grand Prix. So in that respect, he's got the most.
2 of them were European Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is this really Lewis Hamilton in an unstoppable era? He's now 30 points clear of Bottas in the title.
No.
What could stop him apart from the obvious? Of
No,
COVID-19?
Lewis is just
Retirement.
the best driver on the grid at the moment. There's a lot of talent on that grid, and and as she just said, you can never tell what's going to happen in Formula One. He could have had the same thing that Hulkenberg had.
Yeah, it didn't even take the start.
They still haven't worked out
No.
why that car wouldn't start on the grid.
I still want to know what was wrong with Vettel's car all weekend.
He's had a
It's
poor
easy. It's
weekend.
a Ferrari, and it's
Yeah.
really poor.
No, that still doesn't give an excuse because Leclerc finished in 3rd, whereas Vettel finished in 10th and had problems all weekend.
I've got a question.
Ted says
yeah.
that in his usual way, there is no truth in the rumor,
But there is definitely
but there
truth.
is that
I do have a
Charles
question.
got the better part.
What's the question?
I do have a question from Liz, who got in touch on the YouTube live stream post-race, and we didn't see it. She wants to know, why is Megan so angry at Charles Leclerc? He's performing better than his teammate Vettel in the race.
I'm just angry at the big gap because I'm worried about the car and it annoys me when I see a big gap on the screen because it messes up my brain and the rest of the timing screens in my mind.
You think?
Yeah, everybody wants Ferrari to be in Formula One, but they for the last 20 years, Ferrari have written their own rules, and
Yeah. Especially
and
last
the
year.
last 20 years?
and what they did last year, and have had to use in this car, wasn't good enough because the engine thing that the FIA call a thing, but
Engine oil.
engine oil.
Not very
Yeah. Burning
descriptive.
they've been burning engine oil to help with their performance
Yeah, they've been
around
doing that for
corners and things like that
Mercedes got caught
for
up
about 5 years, and Mercedes used to do it as well.
Just moving on as well to Esteban Ocon. He's tweeted saying, P6 today, thumbs up. Car felt great in the race. One more opportunity next week. Renault on the up as well. As you said, Ricciardo finished 4th and Ocon finished 6th. Decent points finally for Renault after a tricky couple of weekends. Megan, I believe you've got the race rundown of things that happened that you wanted to go talk through?
Yes. Well, lap 3, as I have it, Magnussen had his wheels off.
Apologies if you can hear something outside our studio. I'm not sure what that is about. I think
Yes,
there's
I think it
a,
might
yeah,
be
I don't
something.
think you should be able to hear it because these are directional microphones. but if
Yes,
you can,
anyway,
apologies.
let me
Megan,
get back to the point.
Over to you.
Anyway, Kvyat had a puncture in the wall, lap 13.
Not sure. Sorry about this. We've got.
Yeah, just
well,
talk through it.
We've had our own. Extinction Rebellion had a protest just before the race as well, and 4 people have been arrested. But luckily, the Great British Marshals and the police force were able to arrest them. Of course.
Bottas has a puncture lap
Yeah,
50. Let's just
Go
get on
back.
with
Go
it.
back to your
Yes.
point. Go back to your
Yes.
point there.
Sainz and Hamilton both had punctures on lap 52, and penalties were for Albon with a 5-second time penalty as well as Grosjean. No, not Grosjean. He had a different
He
thing.
had a black and white flag
Yeah,
during the race.
I'm
Yeah.
reading the wrong thing. Giovinazzi also had a 5-second time penalty with Grosjean and Stroll having a black and white flag.
I can tell you what Antonio Giovinazzi's was for. All that said in the world feed was for a safety car infringement. He was failing to slow under the safety car, so he was going too quick in the sector times to try and match up. So that's what it calls for him. Going on for a few more tweets, if my iPad loads. Max Verstappen said, "I'm happy to finish second, as it looked like third was all that we could possibly get as well. And again, we have scored more good points." He's looking like Charles Leclerc. Verstappen's looking into these podium positions. He got second in Hungary, and has got second here today. He's looking into them going forward. Megan, question also that I think you both can answer.
Verstappen
Go on.
is. But Verstappen was so bored today.
Clearly was. Yeah.
He was so bored today that he did the joke because his engineer is always telling him, "Make sure you drink your fluids, Max. Go on, Max, drink." So he turned around and said, "Have you had a drink? Have you make sure you have a drink?" And doing it the other way. And it was only because
Perfectly fun.
he was just coasting round.
Sarcastic level 1000.
He couldn't catch.
Yeah.
He couldn't catch
the
Lewis.
Mercedes, no. He was
Bottas
so
to
far
begin
off.
with, then Lewis.
I just think if it happened a different way, we could have said
It's a
that
shame for
Verstappen had won.
Bottas.
Yeah, Bottas finished 11th after his puncture, as you said earlier.
But there was a
Megan.
lot of people who had bad times in that race, and like Hulkenberg at the beginning. I mean, you get called, you look forward to racing a Formula One car again, and then it doesn't start. I mean, the technology that Formula One cars are, that's almost unheard of.
Just going through it as well, as we just had a little issue with our device because unfortunately it decided that it wanted to go play laser pointer. Charles Leclerc finished third in the race today. He says P3 baby with a big exclamation mark. Without luck we wouldn't have been on the podium.
Because it was luck.
Yes, it was complete luck, yeah.
The luck of for them, bad luck for Bottas, good luck for him, and
yes.
bad luck for Sainz.
Yes, I'll get onto that as well. Without luck, we wouldn't have been on the podium, but very happy with how we managed the weekend, considering
No, I think it would
the
be
tough considering the tough times we are going through at the moment. We keep pushing. Must get that through, otherwise
Don't
we
you
get.
think-
Must get that through done once, otherwise we get done for putting words in people's mouths.
Well, don't you think it was Danny Rick that looked out because a few more laps and he'd have been up the.
Ricciardo would have been on the podium. If we had one more lap, he was right behind him in the times. They finished 1.176 seconds
Great day
adrift.
for Renault. Great day for McLaren.
Yeah, McLaren with Lando Norris finishing in P5.
And good day for Albon, who with 10 laps to go, Alex was last.
And got into
And got
P8.
eighth.
Yeah, great day for him. Peter Gasly, however, had a better day. Had that 5-place grid penalty, remember, as well.
Good day
after
for
that.
Ocon.
Ocon had a great day, yeah, P7. P6 for Ocon. Gasly P7, he says, 7th, yes, loved all the battles and overtaking. Enjoyed that race. We are making progress race after race. Let's keep going. I think it makes sense as well. Williams have been having a bit of a steely thing there. Lewis has just tweeted, actually, just now, saying that today was intense, but it's a day I'll remember forever. Thank you all so much for your positive energy, and he's used hashtag end racism as well. So yeah, going forward, it's a good one. Lando Norris, tough one, but a fun one. P5, thanks for all the support. Lando has had a good race. He's back on form now after a bad race in Hungary. Back into the point scoring position.
I liked it when they were racing each other. Sainz and Lando in that race. They got pretty close to each other.
Pirelli want answers on Silverstone tyre failures by Tuesday. That's interesting. That's
Yeah, I agree.
Considering the tyres next week are softer.
That's going to be a worry.
Yeah, it's
So
their fault.
okay, let's go through the field one by one. We'll start off quickly with talking about the junior formulas. Me and you watch
If
the
there's,
Formula 3
if there's
Formula 2.
5 tyre
Yeah, go on.
failures,
Oh.
then you've got to blame it on the. We don't exactly know what has gone wrong.
We won't find out until
But-
Tuesday.
No,
Why?
but you've got to blame it on the tyre manufacturer because it's five tyre things, 3 different cars.
Yeah, and they blew after longer wear.
And
These
the
are the hard tyres.
At the end of the race, most of the front lefts look like that. They are supposed to design a tyre that is fit for that circuit, and they've got it wrong.
Agreed.
Gotta
And
hurry up.
Sorry,
Sorry,
Pirelli,
it's
because you
hanging
got it
round.
right at Red Bull.
what is more worrying is the
Red
fact
Bull
that
Ring.
what is more worrying is the fact that the tyre that blew is the C1 tyre. That's the hardest compound they make.
Yeah, but maybe it was too hard.
I think it was
And
too. Yeah.
Maybe
The
during the
stress.
race, the heat on the tyre caused a compound change,
Yeah.
which could have caused cracking. You're the scientist, not me.
Let's go through the race
Really
results
bad.
then one by one.
Well, you know a lot about science. I
Hmm.
don't.
Let's go through the race results then one by one. Lewis Hamilton, victory again. Great race for him today. Max Verstappen second, Charles Leclerc third. We heard from them. Daniel Ricciardo is yet to comment on today's race on social media, but as you said, great race for him, fourth for him. Then we get Lando Norris in fifth place. He's already commented, we heard from him. Esteban Ocon sixth,
Sorry,
Pierre
I'm looking
Gasly
at the-
seventh, Alexander Albon eighth, Lance Stroll ninth, and Sebastian Vettel rounding out the top 10. Vettel, Megan, as you said, you want to know what's wrong with him all weekend. He's had a terrible weekend.
Yes, he's had a very confusing weekend indeed, since in every single qualifying he had something wrong with his
The
car.
pedals were loose in FP3.
He even adjusted his own car at one
Don't you
point.
think that
FP2 was a problem,
The
FP1 didn't
delegate
get out.
that was assigned from FIA to overlook that when it was happening should have asked why did it ever come loose from the base plate anyway? You know,
It's not designed to do that.
well, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's an infringement. It should have been. They should, you know, if they're supposed to be making sure safety is fine, and it just seemed that everybody was happy that it's a one-off.
It's not. It's very clearly not a one-off. Oh, Max Verstappen said very happy finishing second, a great result. That's what we've just heard from him. It's not a one-off. It's happened before, and it's worrying that it's starting to happen again. And if it happens next weekend, Pirelli have got some serious, worrying things to do. And hopefully
Lewis got
we'll
his
see it going
mask
forward.
out after the race and went to see Valtteri in his motorhome.
Oh, that's understandable as well.
Valtteri, I think, is a bit upset this weekend.
Lando Norris, by the way, is fourth in the Drivers' Championship ahead of both Ferraris and Alexander Albon. Sign him up for a big team.
The Hulk wasn't as bad as I thought he would be.
Oh, and
He
we're
was still
back to
joking
the-
around.
Yeah, Hulkenberg
he-
was all right.
He's seeing the positives.
Some mosquitoes hanging around.
That's right. Well, we are filming this at night, by the way, so the sun is just beginning to set. Here's the Renault tweet. What a British Grand Prix from Renault. P4 Daniel, P6 Esteban, and they are happy with that as well. We'll just confirm the bottom order. Valtteri Bottas finished outside the points 11th. He was close to getting that final point, but Vettel blocked him off at the last corner. George Russell, what a race. 12th for him.
Yeah, George, he got a really good middle sector, didn't he, and of the race, and the start wasn't that bad at all.
Oh, he had a great start, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he picked a few off. If I suppose it's trying to racing a tractor at the moment for him. The Williams is better than it was last year, but it's still got a lot of faults.
He's
And-
qualifying well. That's the good
and
thing.
it's going in the right direction. That's the main thing. But it's still a bit like the Alpha is.
Yeah, good. Yeah, but
It's a bit of a tractor at the moment.
He's got that car under control in qualifying now and getting into Q2 regularly. Let's just try and see if we can get the race pace up for performance. Carlos Sainz finished 13th after that puncture. You did ask if he retired, Dad, earlier on when we were off here. He finished 13th. Giovinazzi 14th with that penalty. Latifi 15th. Grosjean 16th. As you said, bad call in the pit stop. He did so well not
he did
pitting.
everything they wanted
Yeah.
him to do,
Alternative
as you will
strategy,
see on
yeah.
Netflix next year.
And then obviously bang.
And you will see all the outcome of the debriefing.
Raikkonen, Megan, he
The
led
one thing
everybody.
about having
Sorry,
hardly
go on.
anybody people in the paddock, you can hear all the shouting.
And Drive to Survive next year is going to be one to watch with no fans allowed either. So that's going to be good. Megan, Kimi Raikkonen today.
So it will be interesting.
It will be. Kimi Raikkonen today, Megan.
Kimi let everyone through, which is
He
unusual for
he
him.
looked like the old man in the field today, and I've never believed more the
His car didn't
rumours.
have
Yeah.
enough top speed on it.
I've never believed the rumours
I've got a
more.
wing.
I've never believed the rumours more that he's going to retire at the end of this year.
No,
I said
I-
that in the commentary, but I think he might. I honestly think he might.
Well, we might have another Raikkonen soon in like 10,
Robin
20 years.
Raikkonen.
Yeah.
He's quicker than him already, is Robin. Out of the race, Danica Kvyat, Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg never even took the start. That's disappointing.
Yes.
On the podium,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, go on.
Begins with a P.
Peroni.
Peroni.
Peroni's son, yes.
Didier Pironi, who died
Oh,
years ago.
yes. go on.
His son, who is an engineer with Mercedes, was the chosen member of staff to pick up the company's award on the podium. So
Fantastic.
it was nice because he got the chance to see what his dad did when he was racing. How the podium. It's one he might have gone to the races, but the feeling of being up there, it was nice. And Lewis made a fuss of him being up there. He's Martin sees the Pironi boys a lot, doesn't he? And
It was very nice seeing them up there. I've just had to
it
check
was
my.
it
yeah,
was
go
a
on.
nice time.
I've just had to check my watch for confirmation, but if you watch the Formula 3 races this morning, Samolia, who won his first ever race, it has just been stripped from him.
No.
He's lost the victory, and David Beckman has been awarded the
was
Formula 3 win.
There was a turn, I think it's turn 11
Yeah, that would
incident
be, yeah.
with between the two of them. That's the thing. I mean, what's the use of stripping him of it hours later? Should have stripped him in it before he got up on the podium.
They should do it before. That's the thing as well.
Yeah.
I'm sick of all these delays.
It's a shame for the kid, but he'll be
yeah.
back up there.
We've gone through all of the tweets and we've gone through all of them. Bad day for Hulkenberg, really. He never even got going, and he'll get a chance next weekend, as we discussed
Yeah,
in
as
the
I say
commentary.
though, he seems to be taking it ever so well.
I wouldn't be.
And Danny Rick is.
I would.
He's passed.
Danny Rick was in playful mood as well.
I'd
Ricardo
probably
was.
just be glad I don't have to move.
Lewis seemed quite happy after the race.
Lewis was happy. He
You see-
was. What was that?
The wood pigeon.
Sorry, we just had a very large noise in the box as well. It's all
Yeah, it's a
happening.
wood
And the
pigeon.
box is open right now, so we can see everything.
Very unusual. That happens every now and then. Maybe it's gust of wind. We'll just continue with
I
the.
saw something in the tree. It looked like a wood pigeon.
Well, this is what we get for filming
Sparrow,
at
I
night.
think it was.
We've got a nice church behind our back garden
Just quickly, Hamilton then 88 points leads the
with a
title
lot
by
of trees.
Hamilton leads the championship on 88 points. He leads it by 30 to Bottas on 58. Verstappen's closing in now, just 52, so he's in the mix. Lando Norris fourth, 36. He's 3 clear of Leclerc. Try saying that quickly. Then we get Albon, Perez, Stroll, Ricciardo, and Sainz rounding out the top 10. Ocon with 12 points, the same as Gasly. Vettel on 10. Giovinazzi on 2. And Kvyat on 1. Magnussen gets a point. And without points, Latifi, Raikkonen, Russell, and Grosjean still, excuse me. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes lead the way. Quite a margin now, 146 to Red Bull on 78. McLaren hold on to third on 51. Increased their gap to Ferrari, have now got up into fourth place on 43. They're in a battle with Racing Point now 42. Renault
but
have
they
32.
were in the race.
Yeah, so that was a better thing.
It was a bad. Have we mentioned that the fact that apart from Hulkenberg not starting, right? Racing Point just didn't seem to have the speed today.
Didn't there? Just want to know actually why it says that. Yes, okay. The points were wrong there for Ferrari, but they are still on 43. Racing Point
Ferrari
42.
are a mid-table team at the moment.
They are. They need to improve big time going into the next few races, otherwise they're going to struggle for the money. I never thought I'd say that about Ferrari. Alfa Tauri on 13, Alfa Romeo on 2, Haas on 1, and Williams still with no points on the board.
If we talk about the financial side of how Ferrari financed their Formula One team,
Yes.
it's from the profits made by selling Ferrari cars by Chrysler Fiat, and that top end car market is virtually dead at the moment. So it's realistic to think that they are quite short of money.
Could be. Megan?
Yes, and it seems to be that McLaren and Ferrari have decided to swap places in the positions this year.
Seems to be that. Right, we better.
Yeah, all the
go on.
crowing by
Yeah.
people a few years ago
Oh,
when Ferrari were above
something in your hair.
McLaren,
No, in your hair.
and now we've got McLaren. It's all a circle, isn't it?
Yeah. Circle of life.
Yeah.
Goes on and
Circle
on.
is a circle of life for the teams, definitely. I mean, a few years ago, it's not that long ago. What, 5 years
About
since
5 years. Yeah.
Williams were one of the top sides. If anybody was going to be winning a Grand Prix other than the top
Mercedes,
two,
yeah. Mercedes even. Williams was
Yeah.
second fastest in the team. Red Bull only got it up in the mid half
And
of the
look
season.
where they are now. You've only got to make one mistake in the aero. It puts you back 18 months.
Is the mistake Paddy Lowe there?
Mm.
Harsh to say, but I think it was.
I wouldn't like to say I don't think he's had as much input as people think.
I'm
He
not
left the team
sure.
last year, but I'll tell you one thing. 2018, he left Mercedes, joined Williams. I ran into him at the World Endurance race, and I saw him walking into the back of the Toyota Gazoo race, and I thought, now, what are you doing there?
Well, not only drivers and that go down the formulas
Oh,
after the
they
Formula
all
One.
sort of go around.
Yeah, I mean, I think the world's gone on for some of the people that were quite famous.
You wanted to know earlier.
The one
Rob.
that surprises me is the lad from Ferrari that went to Williams, Rob
I know, Rob Smedley, yeah.
Smedley. I can't believe that he's still out of Formula One.
Yeah,
and
he's now
got
back
so
in
much to
F1.
offer.
Yeah, he's on F1 TV now, isn't he? He's a
Yeah,
broadcaster.
it's with
Rosanna, yeah.
Rosanna Tennant on a Wednesday
You
evening.
asked during the commentary on the live stream, and this is a complete accident. I've just stumbled across this tweet from Racing Point that was actually during the race, and they weren't watching it. So you wanted to know who had led more laps, Lewis Hamilton or Burt Mylander?
Yeah.
It's Burt Mylander
Is it really?
by
I thought-
500 laps more.
I had this thought that I'd heard that before.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked it.
There you go. We sum up the day
there was
nicely.
a good. I really enjoyed that. Looking at that video.
Oh, yeah,
of-
the old safety cars. It's not
of
finished yet.
Bert. Yeah,
There's loads more.
but all the safety cars. I always wondered what you do with the safety cars. They don't do anything with them. They're in a barn in Germany.
Burt Mylander gets them. Everyone he's ever done. Okay, that's us pretty much done for this weekend. Then here at Silverstone, I'll give you one word to. Oh, well, let's some words, please, to sum up this weekend for the British Grand Prix. Megan, you first.
Very, very confusing.
It's been a confusing weekend, hasn't it? A lot.
Was that one word?
Well, it's not one word, just a number of
He
words.
said a
Good.
few words, and I
few
said
words.
very, very confusing.
I think the live
Very, very confused.
because we've done we always do all the sessions, but we've done them all live, so we've been able to tell the story better than we ever have here. Dad, you
it
sum up
was
the weekend.
very exciting towards the end,
Mm.
as I predicted, and we missed the crowd.
We did. We
Definitely
really
more than
did.
three
The
words.
atmosphere wasn't the same, and the same thing's been happening in football. In that the
We always get onto football.
Somewhere along the line, it always ends up back there. Go on, Dad.
yeah, but it has.
Yeah.
Do you really think the cup final was good yesterday? I don't.
No, I don't. It was
I didn't
missing the
watch
fans
it.
so much.
Apart from it being Arsenal. Sorry, Jack.
Yeah, sorry, Jack. Okay, you two. We're back here in 7 days for the 70th anniversary Grand Prix. What do you expect is going to happen there? Pretty
I
much
don't know, I'm not
repeat.
70.
Puncture, puncture, puncture.
You're going to go punctures. I think you're right, you know. I honestly think you're right. Dad, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they've got to sort out the tyres. But I think it'll be Max and Lewis at the front again.
It's going to be an interesting one.
Valtteri, if anybody can understand what went wrong and how to do it, it'll be Valtteri. He's very knowledgeable, isn't he? He's got an
Yeah,
engineering degree,
It's almost
hasn't
like he could have
Yes,
pitted before then.
Yeah, why,
Cheeky.
why didn't he? That's a good point.
Why
Why
didn't he
didn't he
pit? Yeah.
ask?
Lap 13 to
Lewis
lap
does.
50.
Lewis turns around and tells them.
They both paid for mistake.
Lewis turns around and say, "I think we should do this now." So why doesn't Valtteri?
It's interesting, isn't it? Do you think the team would have overridden
Max
it?
does as well.
Max did. Max overruled the team and pitted because he was having issues himself.
Yeah. Well, look.
He was like,
Is that
no.
an ant?
Yeah, there's an ant on the commentary box table.
Not an uncle, an ant.
So that's it.
And next week we might be able to return to some jokes,
Yeah, next
And
week.
some-
Yeah.
some nice strategically placed song lyrics.
Yeah, next week we are not live. We are live for free practice one, as per usual. We do the practice one session to welcome you to the weekend, but we're back to our traditional programming for the 70th anniversary.
He's made us
race-
posh this week, and we don't like it.
Yeah, British
I'm
Grand
always
Prix.
posh.
Right?
I'm
Well,
always posh.
This one's a bit more relaxed because this is a forum type show. So
Why
it's not
are
really
you
that-
two so posh and I'm not?
Why are you speaking Liverpudlian?
I thought that was Welsh. To be
I
fair,
thought it was Manchester, actually.
I don't, we've all thought different accents. Yeah.
From North, lad.
Well, this one's a bit more of a forum
You're
type show.
Northerners.
I like what the forum was doing. So this is the forum type show. We can be as silly as we want on this one and a bit less thing. We're not on television anymore. This is just
My dear
talking about
Jack
the race.
would have told me that a few moments
Whereas
ago.
I'm more posh
But
when
we're
it
all
comes
doing
to
it.
this show.
Okay, we've summed up the weekend. We've had a good laugh this
Are you
weekend.
sure
as
that was
well.
an ant and not a walk?
I'm not sure. Oh dear.
You know what a walk is, don't you?
I think
It's a
Fly
that's
fly
without
without
wings.
Oh, I knew that was coming. Thank you very
But
much,
only
though.
if that's in the West life.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear. Thank you very much, though, for watching this weekend. We've enjoyed bringing every minute the cars have been on track live with watch-along commentary. It's been something a bit different. It's been something a bit new as well. We commentate on every session anyway, but it's been a bit more of a challenge when there's a commentary box camera on you all the time.
I've
No,
never
I can turn you
commentated
off.
on so many before.
In a row, yeah. It's been fun. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back here next week. But it's not all done yet. We've got plenty more programming coming your way this week. We've
Do
got
we?
not you two. It's just me standing on my own. We've got the MotoGP analysis from the Jerez Grand Prix, the Spanish and Andalusia Grand Prix. We've got the highlight program from the 3 British touring car races with the reports. We have the Grand Review podcast of this race, and then also we do it all over again next weekend when Formula One is on for the 70th anniversary. Plus, look out for me maybe on the Formula E World feed in the
And-
programme I sent for them.
Over the last 2 days, I've really, really not been well.
So, yeah,
And
massive
I still
applause.
look better
Yeah.
than these two.
Yeah, so thank you for braving through it and coming. Thank you to you both actually for this weekend.
What? You look...
For me, it's just coming out my room and stop doing work.
Yeah.
Sorry. She said there was sunshine.
Yeah.
She hadn't seen sunshine for ages.
I prefer the winter.
It's
I
the
told you, you should not name all these little insects that are in your room.
It's the most I've
There was
ever
one.
seen you talk,
There was
Megan,
one
in
what?
one weekend. Because you've done FP1, FP2, qualifying in the race.
I know, it's been driving
Way
me
off
insane.
subject now.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Loads of programmes throughout the week. Next week it's a biggie though. Everything's on. Formula 1, MotoGP, British Touring Cars and even Formula E. Hopefully I might be on the Formula E World feed. I sent them in a video. So that'll be something to watch out for. Yeah, so watch out.
They look like me.
And Magnum.
That's a new one. We'll be
It
back
really isn't.
next weekend for the
Really is
70th
not.
anniversary Grand Prix. It's not live, but we'll have all of our usual programming, and we'll have Free Practice 1 live with the watch along commentary as well as per usual. My thanks to Megan. My thanks to you, Dad. That's Ian Birch, by the way, for everybody who wants to know his name because I keep getting
Nobody
bugged
wants
by
to
it.
know my name.
No, no. But thank you to most of all to you, the
I've
viewers.
got to go somewhere where everybody knows my name.
Cheers for your company this weekend.
Very good.
We've really enjoyed your company as well. We really must thank you as well for watching us throughout from Free Practice 1 all the way throughout towards the race as well, and all the other programmes we've done this weekend. It's been a brilliant race, and we thoroughly enjoyed commentating on it. We hope to see you again soon next weekend when we do it for
Yeah.
the 70th.
Evening, everybody.
Yeah, Norm, Malati will be back next week. From us all here, though, bye for now from
Bye.
Silverstone.